Alright, our project was on ergonomics. We were doing Korean Air 007. We are group number 1. We have Hannah Moores, Brandon McGill, Sean Walborn, and Mohib Ansari. Here is a picture of a news article from the time. It was actually 6 years after it all happened. It depicted how it looked from our view, how the propaganda used it. Murder in the air. Here's a table of contents. We're going to talk about what is Flight 007, why the accident occurred, the official report, what ergonomics issues occurred and possible fixes, and then we'll hit the references.
So this is a little bit about Korean Airlines Flight 007. It's a Boeing 747 that was flying from Anchorage, Alaska to Seoul, South Korea. Due to poor pilotage and management and mitigation from the PIC, it deviated 200 miles north of its course, caused it to be over Soviet territory, and was ultimately shot down by a Soviet fighter craft. This is a little bit of a visual representation of the path it actually took versus what it should have taken. So why did the accident occur? Well, essentially they started the flight off by putting the autopilot into heading mode, which, as any pilot knows, is an extremely large error, as you can lead to hundreds of miles off course as they were. Once they realized their error, they switched it back to inertial navigation mode, but they were too far off course for that to take effect. As you can see, that the aircraft must be close to the flight route, and the aircraft must be flying toward the direction of the flight route. And it just caused a large enough error that they were unable to recover.
So the ICAO report cited several issues with this flight, several probable causes. So some of those were the extended time zone crossings and duty times, because they were so long. It caused fatigue, and that then caused situational awareness to be less than what it should have been. It said that there were no failures in the navigation systems, weather radar instruments, or any other equipment on the aircraft, so this was mainly due to pilot error. The maintenance of a constant magnetic heading just kind of reinforces that. Said it was due to the crew's failure to realize that the aircraft had been left in heading mode, and by the time they switched it into INS mode, the aircraft was already too far off track and wasn't actually switching into that mode. They also failed to realize that, or detect this error early on in the first place, so they didn't use the proper navigation procedures to ensure that the aircraft stayed on track, and that's what caused it to get so far off track and fly over Soviet territory.
So what ergonomics issue occurred? Pilots were on a 5-day trip, which caused pilots fatigue, homeward bound carelessness on the final leg of the long extended journey, pilots' interaction with the autopilot. That was the main issue that occurred in this whole accident. So the possible fixes for that is like create more efficient standards for pilot, allowing for more rest to decrease human error caused by pilots' fatigue, better education of navigational system and using checklist procedures to maintain this, and changing protocols for autopilot, making it easier to use and how to use basically. And in the end we have some references. That's all from our presentation. Thank you.